Good morning. Welcome back to Fantasy Football 101 on Sports Radio 1450. Adam Stark alongside Eric Pedigo, Mark Graham, and Nicorelli. Taking your phone calls at 529-1450, 529-1450 on your Saturday morning. Hope you're doing well. Weather's great out there. There's no doubt about that. Loving this weekend, but still going to stay indoors a lot and watch some good college football and some great NFL games on Sunday, and a good Monday night matchup, I think, as the Giants hit the road. After bye week, they'll take on the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see if Brady Quinn will play. We've been bashing Derek Anderson already this morning. We'll run through the injury report this week here in a matter of moments, but let's go to the phones once again, 529-1450. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 101.
Yeah, I need two running backs out of these three, Slayton, Steven Jackson, and Maurice Jones-Drew. And I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. 529-1450 is the phone number. Pretty tough. Eric?
Well, you would. You would say me first. This Miami defense, we're talking about Houston. They go on the road to Houston. That's Steve Slade. Miami's defense playing New England, and then, who was the other?
San Diego last week.
And then San Diego. They only led one offensive touchdown apiece to both of those teams. So I'd be a little worried about Steve Slayton, even though I really like what he's doing. And Steven Jackson, it just kind of depends on point per reception. Steven Jackson's catching a lot of balls, and he's got a lot of yards receiving. And Jones-Drew has a nice matchup against Denver, but he's only averaging 35 yards rushing a game. So that's kind of if he doesn't really get into the end zone, he could be in trouble. I would go for Slayton and Jackson. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Slayton and Jackson.
Yeah. That's confidence right there.
Hey.
Well, point per reception, I'd have to go with Jackson and Jones-Drew myself. Okay. Based on what you said about the Miami D playing much, much better in recent weeks. And, with Haslett as the coach, he's going to be somewhat conservative. I know we're talking about him throwing the ball down the field, but I think Jackson's going to get the ball a lot, and I think he's going to have a little more fire in his belly this week because he is under a new head coach. He's going to have to prove himself a little bit.
Yep, I agree with you. I think Jackson and Jones-Drew is the way to go. I really do.
529-1450 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 101.
Hey, I can't even believe I'm asking this for my quarterback.
I can't wait.
Just the way this year's gone. But it's kind of a combination two question. First of all, I have a choice between Chad Pennington or Carson Palmer. And along with that, since I don't have the most confidence in Chad Pennington, I have Ryan, the quarterback from Atlanta, still out there on the waiver wire, and I'm wondering about picking him up. And I know rookie quarterbacks are always iffy, but I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on who to start, and then maybe if I just use Pennington for one game and then go after Ryan if I can.
You know why? It's funny. When you said Ryan, I looked over at Eric, and he was shaking his head, and that's immediately what I thought also. I think that this would be a good time for you to pick him up and plug him in this week. What the heck? I'm like you. Pennington is good with leading the team down the field, but he doesn't get you a lot of fantasy points. Palmer's elbow is always questionable here the last couple of weeks, and I just couldn't be comfortable.
And he's not even playing.
No,
he's out.
He will not start. So and again, that's another thing. He may play if Fitzgerald has problems, but yeah, if you got the chance to pick Ryan up, I think that's your best bet.
Okay, well, thank you.
Good luck to you.
Chad Pennington just threw his first touchdown pass.
He's a nice guy. He doesn't get you in trouble, but he just doesn't do anything for you fantasy wise.
No. If you get points for completing over 60% of your passes, Chad Pennington is
your
fantasy gold.
Well, unfortunately, Matt Ryan is playing the Bears defense, which is playing pretty good too. But they are at home and they like to throw the ball downfield, so not a bad pickup. Or go get Ryan Fitzpatrick if you want. Carson Palmer's out. They're going to throw the ball a little bit. Ocho Cinco wants the ball a little bit more these days.
Just makes me
Did you see Ryan Fitzpatrick play in St. Louis? Anybody?
Yeah.
Because I went to the first game that he ever started, and I was like, hey, he's not bad. And then, 2 games later, they're like, hey, let's let everybody through.
You know what Ocho Cinco's waiting for? The next Dancing with the Stars. He's done.
He just doesn't show me anything. A couple years ago,
he was
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He just doesn't have it this year.
Trade bait, big time. 529-1450 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 101.
Hi, guys.
Hey, morning.
Quick question. 3 running backs, got to start 2 of them. One of them's Reggie Bush, one Frank Gore, one Willis McGahee. Our league throws bonuses for catching passes off the running back. I'll hang up and listen.
Bush and Gore, no question.
Bingo.
I'm not even looking at matchups, but every week Bush and Gore are a better play than McGahee.
McGahee will lose touches in the red zone. That's one negative with McGahee. Along with I just don't think he's got the speed and the talent that the other two that you mentioned, Bush and Gore. That's an easy one.
How do you throw passes off a running back?
Ask Mark Bulger. But it's been done before. 529-1450 is the phone number. 529-1450. All right, let's run through a little bit of the injury report this week. Eric, let's start with you with the quarterbacks. I'll do the running backs, and Mark, you can talk for 10 minutes about the White.
Thank you very much.
All right, quarterback injury concerns. Carson Palmer, as we just mentioned, will not be playing, and backup Ryan Fitzpatrick will start. Also, Donovan McNabb, although his chest is a little hurt, he will be playing. He's been practicing all week, so you don't have to worry about that. John Kitna, Lions quarterback, not going to play, will be replaced by Dan Orlovsky.
Yikes.
Hey, well, if you're rolling with Kitna, anyway.
Yeah, touche.
Yeah.
Touche, good sir.
Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers, shoulder's still bothering him a little bit, and he hasn't practiced all week, but he is expected to start. And he showed last week he can play, even though he's a little dinged up. And Seahawks quarterback Matt Hasselbeck, not going to play, will be replaced by backup Charlie Fry.
Awesome.
Holla.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like me and have Hasselbeck and Palmer, might as well just throw in the towel. Oh, wait, I've already done that.
That is rough.
All right, let's look at the running backs. Selvin Young, groin out. Backup Michael Pittman, maybe not a bad play this week, as you know the Broncos do like to run the football. LT, he's always on the injury report, but he should start this week. Brian Westbrook is out this week, 2 broken ribs. Buckhalter, another good play this week. Lawrence Maroney. Mark, I was going to ask you about this guy. He's always questionable, limited in practice. He's considered a game-time decision. Last I saw, though, he was good to go. What's the latest you saw on him?
Well, he'll probably play, but he's a pansy. I had him last year, and I was tired.
Don't hold back.
Every little ding this guy gets, he just whines and moans, and when he plays, he gets you 12 carries for 25 yards. I just wouldn't have him on the team. I don't care if he's probable, questionable, dead. I just don't care for him. I just, you take your chances with Maroney. You take your chances with him.
It's a lot of emotional involvement in fantasy football.
I'll tell you what,
guys to
well, there is. I mean, there is.
You get players that you carried for a couple years and they do nothing for you, and you've had it. And he's on my list in that regard.
Evidently he is. Justin Fargas, we've talked about him. He is probable and should be the starter this week for the Raiders, as McFadden is questionable and was very limited all week long. The Rams number 2. Oh, I didn't know the Rams had another running back. Antonio Pittman, he's out this week. McGahee, he's probable and might not do bad, though, as you guys were dissing him earlier, but they are playing the Colts this week, and people have been running all over them all year long. Seahawks backup running back Maurice Morris, he is probable and did practice again on Friday, and he should play. And that's a look at your running backs. I did want to bring up another running back, too. Bengals have picked up Cedric Benson. A lot of people signed him last week and even more this week. Is that a good pickup for people?
You know what? This is scary. You know what might not be, and I thought I'd never say that after last year, but Benson actually looked better than Perry last week, which I don't know, it's not saying much, but, I mean, he looks fresh. The legs he has done a whole lot of running here lately, so, I mean, he looked halfway decent. If you're in a deep league, why not? What the heck?
Oh, yeah. Running backs are so hard to come by. And you said it. If you're in a deep league and you're sitting there looking at guys like, Jones-Drew as your number 1 or number 2, and he's not the absolute worst to have, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have him.
You'd think after
on you.
After his deal with the Bears, maybe he's matured a bit and understood that if he's going to stay in the league and draw big money, he better start playing a little bit.